nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball-playing niggas, you know? Like Bird or Magic or something. Yeah, you know, a nigga got dough. A nigga could leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man? I get love out here in Harlem, man. I done sold coke on these streets, man. Hash, weed, heroin. As long as niggas is feeling it, a nigga like me can hustle it. That's my gift in life, eh? You know? What? The fuck you laughing at, B?
You, man. Funny, man. You a hustling motherfucker, man. For real, baby. You fucking killing me, man.
Well, you know me, baby.
I wanted to come on here and speak on, basically something, an issue that I see in the black community, primarily with our guys, with our men. There has been, since I was growing up, there has always been an element of that tend to place sex or women over money. And that's been a big issue in our community. It just has. I think we don't really speak on it enough, but I just happen to know anecdotally from dealing with, countless brothers. When it comes to women and are choosing to build something, have something, we put the cart before the horse. There are tons of brothers that I know that will, not have a job, they'll borrow money from you. But you get those brothers out in Atlanta on a Friday night, or get them out in Montgomery on a Friday night, and you would think that they own some business or own, because they're the most confident brothers. And I've never ever understood that. I never did. Whenever my money's low, I don't know. It's not just that I don't have confidence. I really don't even think to talk to a woman when I'm broke. I just don't even, it just doesn't cross my mind. If I don't have any money, it's not that I'm saying I'm going to get with a woman and just trick off and just throw every dollar I got at a woman. That's stupid, of course. But I'm sorry. Like, I think it needs to be said. A lot of black men in our community, a lot of brothers, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular, okay? So, hit dogs holler. So if you come in the comment section, talking greasy, then hey, maybe I'm talking about you. But this is the thing. There are a lot of brothers that, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Like, there are countless situations. I ain't going to say countless, but there are situations that I know of where, brothers are, in certain cities or in certain situations. And I'm going to be honest with you, the black male unemployment rate is much lower than the black female unemployment rate. It is. So I understand where brothers are struggling. And, let's be honest. If you're a black man, it tends to be a situation where you're not going to be given certain things. Nobody really cares about you. Nobody gives a damn. You're not going to get any compassion. Nobody's going to come in and give you a job because you're non-threatening. If you're a black guy, especially if you're over a certain size and weight, you're going to be intimidating to whites, especially white women. So it's going to be hard. So you're going to naturally have a higher unemployment rate. But this is the thing. This is the thing, man. Like, look, if I'm unemployed, or if I'm not making a certain amount of money, or if I'm working and I'm underemployed, as they say, if I'm making $8 an hour, I'll be damned if I stay in that situation. I'll be damned if I allow myself to just waddle in mediocrity. Because I'm sorry, you are a black man, and that says something to me. I've spit my Willie Lynch chip out. So I think black women are the most beautiful women on earth, and I think that black men have taught everyone else on this planet how to build, if you go through history, and I'm not just talking about recent history, but I'm talking about ancient history, and you look at what we've done and what we've accomplished with the Moors and with, even Egypt, if you want to go there. Let's be real. Black people have been excellent. And I'm sorry, if we were to go and resurrect our ancestors, if we were to raise them from the grave, they would look at a lot of these brothers in disgust. I'm sorry. They would look at us and say, why the hell are you sitting around not, I'm going to say this. And look, I'm not shitting on brothers. I know a lot of brothers going to get in their feelings and say, well, damn, man, you making it like the brothers ain't out here trying, or you making it like, you giving women a pass. I'm not talking about the women. Because, see, I'm all about patriarchy, black patriarchy. And if you haven't heard of Black Patriarchy, go subscribe to the YouTuber named Black Patriarchy. Great videos. I love all his videos. He doesn't speak. You have to, he talks. He types, so you have to read his videos. But the brother's a very deep thinker. So go check him out. But I'm not saying I'm about his channel. I'm saying I'm about real building black patriarchy. And if you're going to have patriarchy, then there are certain, things that you have to bring to the table. Namely wealth. And I'm sorry, like, I'm gonna give you an example. If I'm with a woman and that woman is struggling to pay all the bills and doing certain things, or I know certain circumstances where a female, a friend of a friend or whatever, is she's working to pay all the bills, and that car is messed up, and her boyfriend, her man or whatever is trying to do certain things he's trying to do, and I hate to say it, it's kind of like some pipe dream shit. I ain't gonna say what it is or but it's some shit that is just kind of like, take a guess. He could either be an athlete or a rapper or some shit. I'm not talking about a business or something that is more feasible, but I'm talking about some of these pipe dreams that a lot of brothers get, because one thing we as black men don't have a shortage of is brothers that believe in they're gonna make it to the NBA, or they're gonna make it to the NFL, or they're gonna be some big music producer, or they're gonna be some rapper. There's a ton of us with these pipe dreams. I don't have a problem with it. I really don't. You can have that pipe dream, but I'd be damned if I have a child, or if I'm with a woman and she's struggling to pay all the bills, and I'm her man and I'm sitting on my ass talking about, well, shit, I'm trying to be the music producer. Be a music producer. But my thing is this, man. I'm gonna give y'all an example, and I'm not talking about myself like I'm Superman, because I got flaws. But I'm gonna tell the truth. I go to work. I get up. I get my son ready, and my girl takes him to school, right? Meanwhile, I go to work, right? I work 8 hours, sometimes 9 hours. I get off. I go to the gym, I exercise, I come back, I play with my son till about 8:30. Then I study for 2 or 3 hours a night, man. And not just in Salesforce. I'm actually studying some other stuff. But what I'm saying is, look, if you're a black man in America, if that's not your schedule, I'm not saying you need to do exactly what I do. But if you're a black man in America, what are you doing with your time? You can always make more money, but you can never make more time. Time is the most precious asset on earth. Because with time, you can figure shit out. You can be dumb as a doorknob. But if you want to be a millionaire, if I'm going to live to be 700 years old, I'm going to be a millionaire. Guaranteed, off the top. Because I don't care how dumb and stupid you are. You will eventually figure shit out if you have desire, focus. I was just watching The Founder by Ray Kroc. It's on Netflix, people. Go check it out. And what I found interesting about The Founder, that movie, what I found interesting about that whole movie was that Ray Kroc, he was out selling milkshake mixers or whatever, and he would come home and he would be on the road, and he would come to the hotel room, and sit and listen to, I think it was probably Earl Nightingale or something, you know, back then in the 50s. That's the motivational guy from back then. He was sitting and listening to these motivational tapes. And you know what that told me? Because I have never read about Ray Kroc. I heard certain things about him. But the thing that it told me is, you know, people have certain things about themselves. People that really want something out of life, that are ambitious. And that's me. I sit and listen to Les Brown. I sit and listen to what's the guy? Thank God It's Monday guy. I forget his name. Eric Thomas. I listen to those individuals. I listen to John Hope Bryant. And I listen to them. That's what I do. I listen. That's why I come on my channel and I give you guys motivational videos. And I'm always motivated and always thinking about how I can make it. I'm an optimist. I don't believe in pessimism. Because I listen to that stuff. And this is the thing now. This is the thing. And I'm not going to name any YouTubers in particular, but I hear YouTubers all the time say stuff like, well, I mean, I heard you guys say pull yourself up by your bootstraps. That's a pipe dream. That's not real. You know, that's stupid. And I've been living so long, I can actually, you know, I know that's not the case. Like, bullshit. Bullshit. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, you will never convince me that ambition mixed with focus, and if you're trying to live, if you're trying to be successful, don't tell me, look, man, you can't be applying yourself as an individual. If you are in America and you are, as a black man, caught up and you just don't see a way out, and you think that, man, damn, I'm making $10 an hour and shit just look hopeless, and I don't. Let me tell y'all what I did. Let me tell y'all some real stuff, man. Like, before I got into IT, I went and I studied, and I waited on tables for a while. After I got kind of ready to start going on interviews, after I kind of got to a level to where I really was kind of decent, to where I could probably get an IT job, there was a parenthetical of a period, so to speak, where, you know, I actually, in between studying and getting a job, where I was waiting on tables for about, like, I don't know, 2.5 months, about 10 months. And I was going from interview to interview, and I would wait on tables for about 4 or 5 hours a day, and I didn't even have a car at the time. It was really a rough time. And man, let me tell you something. I recall sitting at the bus stop or sitting waiting on people to come get me, and I'm sitting there listening to motivational speeches, and man, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man, I would be sitting there in tears, just crying sometimes, like, damn, man, is this situation gonna ever change? Am I gonna get, because I hated waiting on tables. There would be times where I would be waiting on tables, people, and I would be making like $10 a day for tips. I'm dead serious. And take in mind, in Montgomery, people had seen me with a comedy club, promoting concerts, flipping houses. So it was rough because people would come in there and laugh at my ass. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was getting laughed at. Motherfuckers would walk in there and, whoa, man, you okay? People would ask me if I'm okay because I'm waiting on tables. I would go to people's tables and ask to take their order, and motherfucker would laugh for 5 minutes straight. I never forget. And this nigga called himself my friend. This nigga saw me waiting on tables and laughed. I never forgot that shit. See what I'm saying? Because I'm going to tell you why he laughed. He laughed because he like, oh, this nigga's supposed to be so smart. He's supposed to be so intelligent. He done flipped houses. He done owned businesses. He done employed up to 20 people at one time and all that shit. But oh, how the mighty have fallen. Ain't nothing gonna make a nigga feel better than to see you down and out. Right? But I'm making a point. The point I'm making is this. While I was going through all this struggling, while I was going through all these times of not having any money, I managed to save up $1,000. And I know y'all like, that ain't shit. Man, what's $1,000? Man, that ain't nothing, man. What's $1,000? Let me tell you something. For me, I was proud of that $1,000. You know why? Because I didn't have no damn money. And for me to save up $1,000, that means I really had to discipline myself to save up $1,000. Now, I got a video on my channel called eight different business ideas for $1,500 or less. I think it's one of my earlier videos. But take in mind, I was still thinking this way back then. And I went and I actually saved up that money. Now that money actually helped me transition with my first job. And first job was like $35 an hour, $10.99, no taxes. I was happy, you know, because I went from making some days walking out of there waiting on tables with $10 to, you know, making $1,400, $1,500 a week, depending on how many hours I did. So it was a blessing. But the point I'm trying to make is this, people. You can make it. Black men, you can make it. Black men, you don't need to, you know, a lot of brothers, a lot of times we will put, I'm gonna tell you one of the most creative juices, and there's a book, Think and Grow Rich, one of the Napoleon Hill, we all know the book. But he talks about a person, I think it's called Transmutation, where he talks about a person's, and I may be wrong because I hadn't read the book in years, but I think transmutation was referring to a person's sexual desire in changing and focusing that energy into your actual desires and dreams. You know, they said when people play sports, not to have sex or to let that sexual energy build up, because that energy you can put that energy on other things. You know, and I hate to hear to say this, they say George Washington Carver, there's a video of him talking. His voice was very high because they castrated and they took his penis when he was a child because he lived around a bunch of whites and he got a good education. But when you don't have the energy to focus on sex, you have the energy to focus on what really matters, which is money, things that really matter, and having a legacy, right? And I'm sorry, it's a lot of brothers out there that will put so much energy on getting some ass. I'm sorry. And I think it's an epidemic. I think black men, we focus, we're not MOP, whatever you want to call it. We're not. A lot of us are, and you know, we'll be the first ones to call somebody a simp or this and that. But you can also be a simp because you care more about getting laid than you do about your financial situation. That's just true. That's just true. You could call a guy a simp all you want, but half the guys calling guys simps are making $8 to $10 an hour, and they're content. And that, let me tell you something. In that movie with Ray Kroc that I watched earlier, just that quick, I think when he put Earl Nightingale on, he says the earth is full of talented people who are failures. The earth is full of talent. I'm paraphrasing, but the earth is full of talented failures. People that never lived up to their full potential. And I'm gonna tell you something. It's a lot of brothers I see that don't really want shit out of life. They've given up. All they want is a job, or all they want is, and fuck that, man. Get off your ass. Get out here and get it, man. I'm not shitting on brothers. I'm not. By no stretch. I'm a brother, so I wouldn't dare shit on them. But what I am saying is this, man. Look, and this ain't, I'm not trying to jump down brothers' throats. You guys aren't building, da, da, da. Yeah, but I'm sorry. There's some truth to that. I mean, we aren't building. A lot of us are content with jobs, or a lot of us are content with, you know, working at a factory. Fuck that. Get off, man. Fuck that, man. How much money are you living on? Save your money. What's your credit score? Better yet, if you're making $8 to $10 an hour, I mean, shit, I done put out this course, talking about this course with Salesforce. There's different avenues. A lot of people, you know, and I got a few subscribers that are actually studying. Some of them hadn't started yet, but they're actually about to start. But at least they're trying. At least they putting their names in the pot to get to better their situation. Look, if you're a subscriber on my channel, I'm going to challenge you. Everyone within the sound of my voice, are you living to your fullest potential? Have you gone out and done everything possible? You know, I'm going to be honest with you. Life is rough for a black man in this country. I'm going to be real, man. A lot of brothers, man, if it ain't a factory job, it ain't too much we can do. I'm going to be honest. It ain't too much brothers feel like they can do, because they feel like, well, man, I can't get the job at this factory, and I'm not built for corporate America. I've heard that from a few of my subscribers, and I had to kind of talk them off their ledge. But that's stinking thinking, as they put it. To think that you're not built for corporate America. What is built for corporate America? Let me tell you something about me. Let me tell you real. I'm going to fail my way to success. I'd rather get into corporate America, get a job, be able to talk my way in an interview. Look, it's just, look, man, fake it. Fake it. If that's not you, fake it. Go on these interviews, speak a certain way, speak as articulate, practice in the mirror. Damn. Act like you Barack Obama. Practice, man. Raise your level of consciousness. I'm just saying, like, I'm at a point right now where we got to stop worshiping. And the reason I'm saying this, there are a lot of brothers I know that will put I've seen some creativity when it comes to women. I know brothers that are unemployed. And I had a video about priorities. Please go listen to that video. Because I was actually speaking on a brother I know in particular. You know, it's got priorities in the title. It's got Kelly Rowland on it for the thumbnail. I can't remember the exact name of it. But please go watch that video. In that video, you will see where I'm talking about, you know, brothers just pretty much don't have their priorities in order, man. A lot of brothers don't. I'm sorry, they don't. They care about getting with women. And to them, that's the most important thing in life. How many women can I have sex with? I've seen brothers that they can't get a job. They'll struggle to get a job. They'll borrow money from you. But when they come to let her put a pretty woman in their face. They in her face trying to get out of her as soon as they can. Put a pretty woman in their face. And these brothers who couldn't get a job, who were struggling, who couldn't, they'll be in a woman's face laughing. I'm gonna tell you something about me. I'm not happy to I'm not too happy. If I'm fucked up financially, I don't got shit to say. I can't even think about having sex. I can't even get an erection, man. I can't. Like, I don't even want to have sex if I'm broke. I don't. And I'm sorry, a lot of us are like that. A lot of us, man, look, I know situations, and the name of that video is Money Over Women. Priorities are first. Please go watch that video. Please. Because I go into depth about a brother I know in particular. I can say his name, but I'm not going to go there. But the thing is this, man. We love and worship sex, man. We love and worship women so much. Not in the sense of simping, quote unquote, like putting a woman on a pedestal. But I know brothers, if a brother could get in the bed and fuck all day, that's all they'll do. They won't go out and build no wealth. They don't want to start a business. They just want to fuck. You know? And I think that's why a lot of brothers are out here going MGTOW. Going with this hedonist type mindset that a lot of brothers have. Because, I mean, you know, I've seen a YouTuber in particular say he's a hedonist. He said, and he read the definition, and he said that sex is the most important thing. Not sex, but he said that pleasure is the most important thing in that person's life. He actually read the definition and said, I'm a hedonist. Think about that for a second. Pleasure. Oh, look, I love sex, man. I know what it's like. So, yeah, that's probably the greatest feeling. To bust a good, hard orgasm, yeah, that's great. It ain't nothing like it. But guess what? I understand, yes, having that euphoria come through my mind, having that dopamine release from that hard orgasm for however many 22 seconds, as Minister Japp would put it, that's great. But when you get finished and you get off that high, if your lights out, if it's the dead of winter and your ass is freezing, if you ain't got no cell phone, you ain't got no car, or even worse, you got all that shit, but your woman paying for it, or even worse than that, your woman paying for it, and you out here trying to be an NBA player, or you trying to be a music producer or some stupid shit like that, or you trying to, you know, just on some dumb shit. Like, I seen niggas that got this, they stifle their women from doing shit and having fun and wanting to do things because they fucked up. Like, eventually, we as men have to stand up. This is my thing, man. And I'm going to say this again because I said this in my earlier videos, and I know I got a lot of new subscribers. I'm going to say this, man. I look at the black community like Best Buy. And I had a partner of mine used to work there, right? And they had a manager come into, it was a general manager. of Best Buy. If you don't know, Best Buy, they pay. Like, I mean, just to run a department, they'll pay $50-something thousand. Real talk. So the manager was making like 150 or something. He makes some ridiculous salary. But I'm gonna tell you what the manager did. The manager got there and they called to me. Now I found this out after the fact. I didn't work there, but I used to hang out up there sometimes. He told me, he said, man, the manager came in. He said, this store has not been producing well, but I'm coming in as the new manager and I'm going to accept responsibility for this store. I'm not going to point the finger at the old, store manager. I'm going to accept responsibility. So when you look at the black community, when I say black men need to accept responsibility, I'm not saying that black men, if you don't feel like, hey, you feel like the black woman fucked up the black community, then fine, you can feel that way all you want to. But the black community is in a certain position. Are you going to step up and accept responsibility moving forward? Are you going to be that cleanup man, as Mr. Black Man Taking Our Communities Back always so eloquently puts it? Or are you going to refuse to be the cleanup man, as Mr. Obsidian would put it? See, because to me, I want to be like that store manager that came in and said, I'm not going to point the finger at who did what. Because part of accepting responsibility is not finger pointing. I think we kind of we think that accepting responsibility for the black community includes pointing and shaming those who caused it to be in the position that it's in. Regardless of the fact, wherever you go on this planet, see, you can move your ass to the suburbs with white people all you want. At the end of the day, when they see you, you will be identified by your community, which is black. So are you going to accept responsibility for your community? Are we as black men going to accept responsibility as the leaders, as the main, and I don't know why I get words in my mind and they leave when I get on these videos, but are we going to accept responsibility? Are we going to go out here and stand up and accept responsibility, not pointing the finger, not trying to say who fucked it up, but because it's fucked up, who's going to stand up and do something today so that in 30 years, we're not where we are now, or in 30 years, we're not even worse than where we are now? Because if you do nothing, then you part of the fucking problem. Excuse my French. If you see the black community as fucked up, and you see the black community as we don't have enough people that are willing to stand up and take responsibility, well, shit, if you all here and all you care about is fucking, then you part of the problem. If all you care about is hedonism, the euphoria that you feel from a good hard orgasm, then you're part of the problem. In my mind, that's the way I see it. And if you say, well, hey, it's not my fault, I didn't do it. Okay, fine, you didn't do it. I didn't do it either. I didn't go out here and look, when I go to the hood, I made a video about thugs the other day. I didn't raise those kids, kids that went and did the stuff they did and caused that, out there fighting the police and mugging. I didn't do that. Those are not my kids. And I'm sure their parents are probably my age and maybe a little younger. Some of them may be older. I don't know. But I didn't have anything to do with how and who those kids are. But the thing is this. I'm accepting responsibility for the black community now. I'm starting to try to make a difference now. If I see a young man who is not my son, but if I see a young man and I get an opportunity to teach that brother how to get into IT, or to teach that brother how to do real estate, or how to do a comedy club, or how to do, I don't know, promote concerts, or anything I know, anything I remotely know, start a lawn service, how to do a mobile car wash, how to, anything I know. If I can help that brother to get in that position, I will. I will. Because to me, it's about paying it forward. I've had subscribers reach out to me and say, man, thanks, I appreciate it. And I say, hey, man, pay it forward. Help the next person. We're going to get ahead as a people because people are going to start accepting responsibility. We're not going to sit around and pontificate about what's wrong and try to run into another community that's not ours, be it white, Asian, Hispanic, or whatever, and go live in their neighborhood and say, well, I'm not like them. You still, when they get upset with your ass, they're going to address you based on the people or even not if they get upset, but if they deal with you in any setting. I'm in corporate America. If I had a woman I was doing some stuff with today on a through Skype, I had to show her something in a she's in the QA. She's testing something that I built, some data that I brought over into a particular table. So as she's testing the data, she creates bugs. Well, she's Indian, so I send her information and I hit her up through IM and I say, hey, do you mind speaking for a second? So, I told her to call my cell phone. She said, better yet, just call me through Skype. So I had sent her my number, but she refused to call me. Why is that? Is it because I don't study my ass? I don't want you. I don't want no damn Indian woman. I don't. No offense. I'm not gonna say nothing about Indians, but I don't want your ass. You're not my type. I want black women. I don't want you. Why are you? But she refused to send her phone number. Why is that? Could it be that she probably looking at me like I don't want this black man having my cell phone number? If it is, I really don't give a damn. I'm just there for the hourly rate that I make. But at the same time, understand me, people. We are judged or categorized based on our community, whether we want to be or not. That's something, Dr. Claude Anderson said it best. God put you on the black team, whether you want to be or not. You're on that team. So, I'm gonna say this, man. Like, you can go listen to certain YouTubers that'll tell you that the whole pull yourself up by the bootstrap mentality doesn't work. You could go listen to them all you want to. And then, you know what? You're right. You know what? This is the thing. Let's follow that logic. Okay. So it doesn't work. There's no hope for black people. Shit is fucked up. The only hope for black people is the government. Like, the government is the only answer. If now take in mind, voting is the weakest form of political power that there is, people. If all you have is a vote, you're fucked. Excuse my French. You are fucked. If all you have is a vote when you're trying to affect political change, you are along for the ride, people. Wherever the person that has money wants the damn, government to go, that's where it's going. So this whole we're gonna vote change is the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life. It really is. Okay, all you got to do is look at lobbyists and shit. You'll see the way it works. You'll see it. The insurance lobbyists lobby in Alabama, in the state of Alabama, to force insurance as mandatory. Insurance lobbyists did that shit, man. That's why your ass gets stopped. Now you'll get a ticket if you don't got insurance. I don't give a damn if you got $2 million in your bank account. If you don't got no insurance, you getting a ticket because the insurance lobbyists had money to pay. The insurance company had money to pay lobbyists to do what they wanted them to do. And so let's follow the logic through. Okay, nobody's coming to save us. Nobody likes us. We got to get the government. So, okay, if the government's not going to work, what are we in for? It's doomed. We're doomed, people. And I'm sorry, as men are supposed to be problem solvers. Men are supposed to be emotional people. And I'm sorry. And I'm going to tell you what really gets me a lot of times. And this video's kind of all over the place. Sometimes I'm not writing shit down. I let it flow. Forgive me. Hey, it is what it is. You know what gets me about a lot of times about these people, man? Like, they don't really, at the end of the day, think their shit through all the way logically. Because I'm going to tell you something. We are not supposed to be, men are problem solvers. We're supposed to fix shit. We are. If there's a problem, that's why, think about it. That's why we are mechanically inclined by nature. You take a little boy and you get alongside and you take a girl and you put that girl in certain situations like administrative, secretarial shit. She'll pick that shit up like with the back of her, like it's the back of her hand. A man, a kid, a boy, you put him into a mechanical situation and give him some tools and tell him to do some shit. He ain't even got to have a book half the time. I know brothers don't even need books. They'll just break down a motor without even, because it's certain ways and skills that men are. We are problem solvers. That's why we don't get emotional when women come to us with problems. First thing we think of is how to fix it. If a woman tells you, even within a relationship, a woman says, you're not doing this, okay, well, how can we fix it? That's how men think. Women think, it's not about fixing it. It's about me wanting you to understand that you hurt me, and I want you to feel the way I feel sometimes. That's how women are sometimes. They do want you to feel the way they feel. They want you to understand. They want you to, because that's how they relate. Women are more relational, whereas men are more, we're more mechanically gifted. When I took the ASVAB, I scored real high in the mechanical section because I was actually thinking about going to the military back when coming out of high school. And the guy told me I would be real good mechanically, because that's how we are, man. That's how men are built. So that means you solve problems pretty much when you say you're mechanical and shit, because that's what it is. Mechanics is about solving problems. And so how are we solving problems within the black community as black men? If you don't have a job, how do you solve that problem? If you're not solving problems, then you really out here fucking up. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you put, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. You take a lot of brothers and you put some coochie up in and put it, I don't know. I'm just being abstract right now. You put coochie away from those brothers and tell them to figure out a way to get it. They'll figure out a way. They will figure out a way. You got whole communities where guys are trying to figure out. It's called a pickup artist. You got all types of guys with ways where guys are figuring out how to get it. That's it. You got guys going to conferences. You got guys going out here, and black men especially will spend every dime they have to have a nice car, to have clothes, to have, you got guys that'll go out and do whatever, move heaven and earth just to be able to get between a woman's legs. We will. But we won't go out. A lot of us don't think, you know what, let me stop focusing on getting between a woman's legs and let me focus on getting this money. Because, see, you got to understand, when you get the money, and I know people know this, when you get the money, sex comes. Women throw it at you because they know who you are. They know you're a man about means. So I'm sorry. If you really are MOB, MOP, whatever you want to do, or call it, then you'll focus on having a skill set or whatever, or a business or whatever, and you'll get out here and start growing towards goals and aspirations and not be focused on, because I'm sorry, I've heard a lot of excuses from a few friends of mine, and that's what really prompted me to make this video. Look, man, life is not going to give you shit, okay? If you don't, like, I know people I've been trying to talk to about getting into IT, and they're like, well, man, I don't know if I'm not built for that. But I'm like, okay, you're not built for that. What are you built for? I don't know. Like, fuck that, man. Let me tell you something. I'm not built to shovel shit with my bare hands. But if Pay was paying $400 an hour to shovel shit with your bare hands, I'd be a shit shoveling nigga. I would. Sometimes as men, sometimes it's about a man puts your feelings aside, man. Control your emotions. Because see, and I've heard it said, they call it emotional intelligence. We filter intellect through our emotions. To deny that shit would be just foolish. So that's all I had to say. Thank you.